What's going on, gamers and collectors? DGC back with another video, and today we're looking at some rare and expensive and hidden gems for the Nintendo Switch. Let's check them out. Alright, so these 8 games here are quickly becoming rare, and they will be expensive one day. And most of these are kind of hidden gems that most people don't ever talk about, and are actually really good games. So let's check out number 1 here. Alright, first up we have Tiny Barbarian DX for the Nintendo Switch. To my knowledge, this is the only physical version of this game for any console. However, it is available digitally on all the major platforms. Really fantastic, old school hack and slash, harkens back to the NES 8-bit art style, and really fantastic game. I'm not a huge proponent of Nintendo Switch portably. I mainly use it as a home console. However, the one game, time after time, that I play portably is Tiny Barbarians DX. I absolutely love this game, and for whatever reason it just really works well for me in a handheld factor. It's just like a simplistic, fun game to play, you know, on the go, or you go to your parents for dinner, or you're going out to dinner, or wherever. Getting on a bus, train, whatever, airplane. This is just like a perfect portable game that, like, you know, those games kind of like the original 4 Mario Bros. Where, and the original Donkey Kong trilogy, where you can just play them over and over and over and over again, and they never get old. Tiny Barbarians DX, right up your alley if those are some games you love. Really fantastic game. Cannot recommend this one enough. This was a nicalis release though, so not only is this kind of a hidden gem here. This released, I want to say almost a year and a half ago, and it was very difficult for me to find my copy. So at this point, you're definitely going to have to buy it on eBay. However, I don't think these are expensive yet, but I do foresee this game being a rare, sought-after game. And this actually comes with a nice little cloth baggy thing, and then there's a little trinket. Nicalis is very famous for doing these nice little kits, I guess you could call them. Because most companies don't include manuals or little gifts anymore and that kind of stuff. So nicalis is very nice with the way they do that. You get a nice little rubber keychain guy and a nice little baggy thing when it comes in, and then there's actually a full, very glorious, beautiful manual, and I'm going to go ahead and get some close-ups of all this stuff anyway. Very beautiful game. Absolutely love this game. Cannot recommend it enough. On any platform you get it for, truly recommend this game. Now, number 2 here. I've actually spoken about both these games already, but they're just really good games that I think deserve more praise. This is 88 Heroes, 98 Heroes Edition, and this was from Rising Star. So this does not come with a manual, unfortunately. However, the inside of it does have this really sweet, and again, I'll get a close-up of this, really sweet. It shows all the different heroes and stuff. So this is a very unique experience, and the best way to describe this is that it's kind of its own thing. It's a puzzler, action platformer where you die and then you change heroes, and the level changes, and there's just constantly new obstacles and enemy types, and it's just a really fantastic, again, much like Tiny Barbarians, where you can just pick this game up and play it wherever, whenever. The levels never really get repetitive. Like I've beaten this once already, and I'm going through a second playthrough essentially, and just still having an absolute blast playing this game. Again, I believe this game is available on all the platforms, but again, physically only on the Switch. This was from Rising Star. I know this as a personal thing, that they release very limited quantities of things to stores, so it's not a website. They release them to stores, but they are very limited nonetheless. So this is 88 Heroes, 98 Heroes Edition. Really fantastic game on that one. Now the number 3 here, I actually didn't even realize this came out, and then I saw another YouTuber talking about it and unboxing it, and I was like, oh man, I gotta get that. So Wave Race was one of the first 3D games I ever played on the N64, and it was one of the first games that I ever bought for my GameCube personally. When I heard about Aquamoto Racing coming out, I think it was rumored a year or 2 ago, and then they showed footage of it, and it's a really beautiful game. Only available on the Switch, possibly PS4, I'm not sure about that, but either way, this is insanely uncommon to rare for the Nintendo Switch. This is by Big Ben. I believe that's the studio that made it, possibly a publisher. They might do both. I'm not honestly sure. Should have done more research before I did this video, but nevertheless, very good looking game, very fun to play, nice level variety, a decent amount of customization that you get in the game. I've been having a blast playing this. I definitely recommend it in console mode versus portable mode for the factor that it'll run better. The game's already choppy enough, so you don't need to put it down as the portable tier of, you know, the Switch, you know, downgrades everything and runs even worse, essentially. But really cool game, and unfortunately, you're not going to find this in stores either, so you're going to have to look online for this one and resort to that. Nothing cool on the inside of this one. Really good game, though. It does suffer from a little bit of a frame rate issue, so that does kind of suck, but really good game if you can find this one. Alright, number 4 is actually another nicalis release. This came out very recently. This is Code of Princess EX, and as always, these come with sweet things. So this came with a nice mini instruction booklet, and then this came with a mini CD soundtrack. I always like getting those. So this, and all the nicalis Switch games do come with a double-sided cover as well, and a reversible cover. Really nice, high-quality prints, and both sides are typically really awesome, and I'm like, oh, which side do I want? But Code of Princess EX is a spiritual successor to Guardian Heroes 4D Sega Saturn, which I recently beat and sold off because it was a very expensive game. But back to the Switch here. Code of Princess EX, really good game, great spiritual successor to it. This was available first on the 3DS. That's even harder to come by, I believe. And then now nicalis reprinted it for the Switch. Really good game. So it's kind of a 3-tier, two-dimensional game where there's 3 levels of play that you can play on. Like there's like a lower one, a middle one, and a higher one. Like it's like pseudo 3D, but it's 2D. Hopefully this will make sense while I'm showing gameplay here. Really great though. It's just it's kind of like a 2D RPG, story-based adventure game, and you can pick multiple different characters, and it's a very nice looking game, and the art style to it's great. And I kind of wish this wasn't so uncommon so that it would sell better, so more people would buy it, and then we would potentially get another one, because I actually really enjoy this type of game. And to my knowledge, I don't know of many games like this. You know, you got Guardian Heroes and you got Code of Princess EX, and to my knowledge, I can't think of many other games that are kind of like that. But if you know any, definitely leave them down in the comments below, because I'm sure I'd enjoy playing them. But unfortunately, this one as well is kind of uncommon. You're probably not going to find this in stores, so you're going to have to resort to Amazon probably or eBay. But again, shouldn't be too expensive yet, but this is a very low print game, so I definitely recommend picking this up. Alright, the next one here. This is from Nighthawk Interactive. This is a game that I own physically on the 3DS. Couldn't really get into it for whatever reason, and then I ended up finding out that they were releasing it for the Switch, and I was like, okay, you know what, I'm going to give it another shot. And actually on the Switch, I really enjoyed it because it's a, well, okay, so this is Azure Striker, Gunvolt Striker Pack, so this is 1 and 2 on one cart. Beautiful game, it's a Mega Man game. Absolutely fantastic on my plasma TV. It just looks amazing with the 2D art style, and it's just a beautiful looking game. The sound effects, the story, the graphic, the art style, everything about this game is phenomenal. However, this is again something that I'm presuming is a very low print run, because I haven't seen this in stores in a long time, not even used. So I definitely recommend picking this up if you're a collector and you're into Mega Man games and you somehow haven't given this a shot. I actually, now that I have played it on the Switch and enjoyed it, I've now played it on my 3DS as well to retry it, and I guess for whatever reason I just wasn't into it at the time. But I can definitely recommend the Switch and or 3DS version. They're both essentially the same game, except for the Switch version looks better. But they're both actually pretty uncommon, to be honest with you. So either one you go with is definitely a nice addition to your collection, and a really, really solid Mega Man game. Definitely recommend this one. Alright, so the next one here. Believe it or not, this is actually a Nintendo produced and published game that I believe physically is very uncommon, too rare for the Nintendo Switch. This is Snipper Clips Plus, Cut It Out Together. So when the Switch launched, that was what, May 7th or 17th of 2016, I guess it was. They launched with Zelda Breath of the Wild, Super Bomberman R, and then Fast Racing Neo. Those were the 3 games that I got on launch day. Snipper Clips Plus did look good to me. However, I only want physical games. Fast Racing Neo is an exception because I know that we're not going to get that. I've begged and begged super rare and limited run games. They clearly don't have any interest in giving this to us. But if Shinin somehow watches this, please give us Fast Racing Neo physically on the Wii U or the Switch. I would die to have that game physically. But Snipper Clips Plus, this was a digital-only $20 eShop game, day of launch of the console. Looked really cool. It's a really cool game. My cousin ended up getting it and playing it with his wife. They really enjoyed it, and then I saw that eventually it came out physically. I've only ever seen this the one time in the wild, and I snagged it up. I do firmly believe that this is a Nintendo-developed and published game that is actually pretty uncommon to rare. This is Snipper Clips Plus. Let's go ahead and check out some gameplay. Nintendo Switch, the physical release. So this is like the enhanced, definitive, whatever you want to call it, the gold edition, the Goldie edition. There's so many different names for that, but or the Plus edition or the new edition. This has like more, I guess, all the patches and all the nonsense added to this version. So this is like the definitive edition of this. But definitely a solid title, and if you can find it, presumably online, this is rare, too expensive in the near future. I firmly believe that. Alright, now here's one that when it came out, this was probably about 6 months ago, it was a GameStop exclusive, but then it wasn't. As far as brick and mortar stores go, it was a GameStop exclusive, and it was available on Amazon.com as well a month after GameStop had it. So they had like a month where it was only available at GameStop, and then the day it came out, of course, they only got, my local area, every GameStop only got one of these, and that is Wild Guns Reloaded for the Nintendo Switch. So this is a very awesome game. I suck at it, heads up. This gameplay you're going to watch is going to be terrible. But I do enjoy it. I love the art style again with it, the music, just the nostalgia factor of that I'm playing an insanely rare Super Nintendo game finally, and I'm finally physically holding it. I could buy the Super Nintendo version. I could, but do I want to pay $300 for a cartridge by itself? Absolutely not. So this was $30 at the store. It's a little more pricey than that now. Not much, but a little bit. This is a Natsume game. Natsume is kind of known to be a little bit more uncommon to rare because they're niche games, and then later on down the line people realize that, like with the Harvest Moons and this, they realize that they made awesome games, and then people want them after they've already been made. But so this is Wild Guns Reloaded. Again, this is a remake of a Super Nintendo game. Really fantastic game. Can't recommend this one enough. This is available physically on the PS4 as well and the Switch. However, I think the PS4 version might even be rarer than that, because I've never even seen that at a GameStop or anything. I have seen these used at GameStops now, but when this came out, this was a tough one to find, so this is definitely a very low print run for a non-limited run game or non-super rare game, Switch game. That's a mouthful. But yeah, really cool game, and if you can find this, definitely pick it up, because it's a really fun game to play. Now the last one. I've talked about this game many times on different episodes for different consoles, but I cannot recommend this game enough. Whether you get it digitally for the Switch, for the PS4, for the Xbox, for the PC, that's Synmora EX. So I have this on PS4, 360 digitally, and then Switch, obviously. Fantastic shoot 'em up. I love the story to it. I love the visuals. The design of the game is just fantastic. The way the particle effects in it, and just the enemy design, and I don't know, the underwater levels. Then you're fighting like sea creatures and like submarine bosses, and then sometimes you're fighting in the sky where it's like clouds and shit, and just sometimes you're in caverns, sometimes you're in like a tunnel area or like a warehouse kind of thing, and just absolutely fantastic game. And unfortunately, this is a little uncommon for the PS4 and the Switch. It's only available digitally on the Xbox One and PC, and then 360 as well, and maybe PS3. Absolutely fantastic shoot 'em up. Just bar none, probably one of the best shoot 'em ups this generation, or last generation, of the last decade. In my opinion, this is one of the better shoot 'em ups. I really do. And so whatever platform you do pick up Synmora EX for, I can't recommend it enough. I really can't. So this was 8 titles that I do believe are already rare and are going to be expensive, and all these are hidden gems, because I never hear anybody talking about these games. So if any of these interest you, or if you have any experience with them, definitely leave that down in the comments below. Or if you'd like to see another episode, definitely be sure to leave a like. And if you're not subscribed, go ahead and do so, because there's a lot of great content coming out for retro, 7th gen, 6th gen era, early 3D and high def, and then I got a lot of 8th gen Switch, PS4, Xbox One, and great content coming out in the future here. A lot of reviews, a lot of collection videos planned out. I have a lot of content that I'm trying to get out with very limited time, being this is not a full-time gig, so be mindful of that. So if I'm ever lacking content, it's just because life's getting in the way, not because I don't want to make content. But as always, guys, peace out for now. Until next time.
Come here, you motherfucker! This is it, baby.